Hey, that's about right. Everything all plugged in. We're all good.
All right.
Well, there's nothing more pro looking than having your webcam not work. 10 minutes before show. So, but I mean, for the essentials, we can still share the screen. We still got our audio visual aids all set. Show prep's all done. I got my beauty shot up there. So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to drink a potion to increase my charisma.
Right.
There we go. Plus 5.
Yeah, we're good enough. It's fine. Come on.
That should be our title, the subtitle of all our broadcasts. We're good enough.
Deal with it. It's fine. So, hey, welcome to the Eternal Baseball Podcast, version 5.0, or the one where my camera doesn't work. So, as always, I'm Mark Weber, my partner Brent Rotundi. We're the architects and I guess the brains behind, but not the IT, obviously, behind Eternal Baseball. We'll be joined by my cat Colin, who just jumped up. That's nice. Too bad you're not.
Yeah, you actually look pretty formidable with that sort of circle emanating from your head.
Yeah. And the louder I get, the bigger it gets. So.
2000. There you go.
So much power, right?
Great people throughout the entire broadcast.
So this is, we were looking forward to this broadcast. I don't want to say more than the rest, but we've been trying to pick the best matchups we can find every week and get around the league a bit so we aren't double dipping on teams because there's 32 teams to get to. But having started the year 0-4, because we always play as the home team, this week we finally decided, you know what, enough. We're just going to take the home team with the best record right now. And for this week, it's Detroit. So the Tigers are off to a nice run in the AL North. They got a 5.5 game lead on Chicago, a 6 game lead on Cleveland, and that's who they're hosting tonight. So Tigers, Indians, and no offense to the Cleveland fans out there, but man, we really need a win. So trying to avoid that 0-5 start.
So I looked it up. So the golden sombrero is when someone has 4 strikeouts in a game, and so. For 5 strikeouts is the Platinum Sombrero, which we're on the verge of.
Right.
And then
I thought it was called the Kingman.
That could very well be the Kingman. I didn't see that. But so get this. If you have 6 strikeouts in one game, they call it the Horn after Sam Horn.
Oh no.
Who apparently struck out 6 times in one game.
I never knew that. Oh, man, I remember when Sam Horn was the hot thing, right? Everybody getting his rookie card, and oh, boy, the next Jim Rice, not so much. Okay, good. That's some good knowledge. I didn't know that. So the sombrero, we have the golden sombrero. Platinum sombrero's on the line. And potentially next week, the horn.
The horn. We want to avoid the horn.
We do want to avoid the horn. So we will get to that next week. So we always do the kind of the weekly tracker, looking at it, a week at a time here with the color coding to make it extra exciting. So we're over here in week 5 here, and we highlight the teams that did really well. Of course, the teams that are bolded are your division leaders right now. And, no surprise that a lot of the division leaders had some of the best weeks at 5-1. All the teams that went 5-1 this week, which was the high water mark, were all division leaders. Birmingham Knights, Boston Red Sox, Detroit Tigers, Philadelphia Phillies, and the San Francisco Giants all had strong weeks. The NL North leading Cardinals were kind of middle of the pack at 3-3. And then the teams with the rough weeks are teams that have kind of had rough weeks. Although the surpriser was the Twins, who were tied for the West lead going into the week, had a 5-2 week last week, and then hit the 1-5 crater this week to fall a little bit off the pace out west. The Expos had a tough week. Padres, Rays, and man, the Blue Jays. They have lost 11-12. And we did try to help their rotation a little bit, made some changes this week. There were some roster changes and lineup changes as we're trying to right some of the more, I don't want to say wrongs, but there are some guys, everybody in the league is a sensational player, but some of them are off to really rough starts, and we're 1/6 of the way through the year. And that's more than a fluke. That's more than a bad road trip. That's starting to become a pattern. So we have seen some roster changes this week to try to shake things up. But
I think we've lost all our Canadian viewers by week 5 here.
Right? Hey, the Expos are back. Yeah, and Toronto, who I expected more from, but man, they're really having a rough time, particularly pitching. Other than Jimmy Key. So, and you can you see the box scores are all up at eternalbaseball.com. You can check out your favorite team and see who's doing well and who might need some help. And our message boards are team specific. So if you are a fan of the Marlins and think 12-17 isn't representative of where they should be, let us know how we can change it up. We aren't watching every box score hyper close. So a good example of Diamondbacks, we're having just an amazing struggle with Nick Ahmed at shortstop. And so there's been a push from a fan to reorganize the lineups for Arizona. And everything he said made sense. And if the stats back it up, we'll be happy to make any change. So, Ahmed's getting more pine time. Ketel Marte's playing more short. And Steve Finley, who's off to a great start for Arizona, is getting center field against lefties and righties. He's hitting like 380 or something, so may as well, get him more time. So, yeah, if you have a suggestion, shoot it to us on the message boards.
We are susceptible to persuasive arguments.
That's it. And, it's like it's the motto, right? We're never going to know any team better than the diehard fans. So, drop us a line. Let us know what we can do to help your team, get better or stay better, either way. We're looking at some of the teams that have done really well. San Francisco is still the cream of the crop, 23-6, but Boston right behind them at 22-7. They've both had 4 straight, golden weeks here, as you see, right? So no surprise that they're kind of running away with it. A team that's really put it together is Philadelphia, who started 1-4 and then 2-3, but have since went 5-1, 6-1, 5-1. So the Phillies, who gave it to us last week on the back of Sherry Magee.
Sherry Magee.
he let us know what he thought of our witticism and cynicism last week. So, and that also ties into a couple of the roster changes. I didn't know that much about Magee. And so I looked him up after he beat the tar out of us. And his first baseball reference or baseball-reference.com. Just the best stats site out there. They have him listed as first baseman and left fielder. And I remember that he was playing short when he kind of beat the death out of us last Sunday night. So I looked it up, and his shortstop resume is really short, and probably for good reason. There was just one year, I think it was 1914, where he got 40 games at shortstop and committed 15 errors in 40
kind of guy.
Yeah, right?
That was me in high school.
He's a first baseman and a left fielder. We're not beating on Sherry Magee again because we know better now. But it sounds like someone got hurt or they just decided, hey, let's try it. And he showed how much of a first baseman and a left fielder he truly was. So it doesn't mean he shouldn't be eligible at shortstop, but that glove certainly didn't play there. So it was one of the anomalies of the game is he was rated really highly as a defensive shortstop, and the stats just don't bear that out. So I think I dropped him down from the defensive rating is 1 through 10. I think he was an 8, which is there aren't even that many 8s. 8's really impressive. So I dropped him down to a 3, which is a little bit rough. But it doesn't knock him off the roster. It does give Jimmy Rollins a little more playing time in Philly, but it's above all anything, we want to be accurate. So,
and it does nullify our loss from last week.
Yeah, right. So it's a make
Stone Cold cheater.
We wouldn't have lost if he hadn't had that illegal super glove on. So that's our sour grape vengeance on Sherry Magee.
We are a vindictive lot,
right? We'll see who we're going to blame it on this time. Same guy who mugged my camera right before we went live. A couple other bits. We were invited into a new Orioles group. on Facebook this week, and we always show off the starting 9. And Oriole fans are always aghast that it isn't Brooks Robinson at third, because it's Manny Machado, and it's looking again. We're not talking about who's the greatest Oriole third baseman of all time. We're not saying who's the best legend. We're saying who had the highest career peak. That's the average of their best 3 consecutive seasons. And it's Machado. And it doesn't even count his last year in Baltimore was his best season in Baltimore. But he got traded like 90 games in to the Dodgers. And so since it wasn't a full Oriole year, he doesn't even get to use that as credit towards his peak. But his offensive numbers at their peak are, I would say notably, but a little superior to Robinson's peak. The twist there is, and where, you get the most interesting arguments, Robinson is pretty much without peer defensively as a third baseman. I don't think anybody would claim Manny Machado was ever a better glove at third base, but Machado was also a decent shortstop, whereas Brooks never played short. So he gives you a little more flexibility, backing up Cal at short in Baltimore. Of course, Cal can play third as well. Anyway, long story short, Machado's really struggling in internal baseball. So we're giving him a little rest down on the inactive roster. And I love it when you get to call up Brooks Robinson. But yeah, the Hall of Fame third baseman will be seeing some time at third in Baltimore, along with a guy not many people know much about named Harlan Clift, who's a really good bat, and see some time for them there too. It's funny, I fenced with Royals fans early in the season about the outfield and also Frank White at second base. And there's 2 guys in KC who just aren't hitting. And I know this isn't good news for Brent, but Hal McRae and Mike Sweeney are just brutal so far. So we're going to give them a little time off. Called up Amos Otis and Mike McFarland. Going to get some time up. And again, not necessarily for the whole year, but it's more than a trend when we're 27 games in and guys are hitting 150. So
they're never going to break up another double play ball again, man.
Right? Think of all the shortstops and second basemen in the league who are thrilled about Hal McRae's, I don't say demotion, but yeah, it is what it is. And then in Toronto, poor Dave Stieb, king of the one hitter, right? I think he had like 9 one-hitters in his career or something like that. He was just always the not quite, just broken up no. And he has been bombed all year long. I think his ERA is like 15.5. So we dropped Dave Stieb, not to inactive, but to the bullpen. Promoted Aaron Sanchez, which I'm sure gets a lot of groans from Blue Jay fans because they remember how he left. But he won the ERA title not that long ago, which is why the Giants and the Astros and real MLB teams keep hoping there's some magic left in that arm. So Sanchez will get a couple starts at least while they try to figure that out. Toronto does have other options. David Wells and Pat Henkin could easily slot in there if Sanchez isn't getting it done. So if you see, like we said earlier, if you see something on your favorite squad that needs addressing, every one of these teams has 15 really talented guys on their inactive roster. So, and like we said, or have said about the sim, and one of the reasons we like it so much, every player can be up to 30% better than their basic stats or 30% worse as a random thing that they make new every season. And there's no way to see that number. But if you watch long enough, if you watch a team closely, you can tell the guys who are scuffling, who are not up to par to where they should be. And there are guys like that on every roster. And so, maybe you're just taking a flyer in Miami by saying, let's start Juan Pierre for a week. He's not normally our starting center fielder, but he might be red hot this year, and you wouldn't know unless he gets a shot. So if you see something you want to try, let us know. We'll roll the dice.
I like it. We're gamblers that way.
Right, exactly, which has served us so well on the diamond. One other note I want to throw out. Last week we were talking about Nomar Garciaparra had just had his 20-game hit streak broken, and that was the high water mark for the league. Right now, currently, Royals third baseman George Brett has a 22-game hit streak. Wow. So that's the most we've seen so far this year. And again, it's off the greatest pitchers in history. So 22 games is pretty impressive for anybody, but particularly in eternal baseball. So
check the bat.
Right? What's going on there? but yeah, you might make him mad. I'm gonna be careful with that. The other one that I really liked, one of my favorite names, Silver King, who sounds like a pro wrestler, is a Cardinals pitcher, and he's on a 5-game hitting streak. So, okay, go. I wonder how many hits you need to get promoted to Golden King, Platinum King, perhaps. Oh, I guess 5 games should be Platinum King, shouldn't it?
So how many starts are we figuring out each pitcher may have? Up to,
I think most guys
or so.
I mean, we're 27 games in, so every 5 games, most guys have 5 or 6, I think. And like Cy Young has 6 complete games, right? He just doesn't come out ever, which is ridiculous because whoever led, I mean, abbreviated season, right? But I think last year, like 2 led the league, 2 complete games, and you were absolute workhorse. So it's
I saw an old picture of him, and that guy wasn't, he wasn't the picture of health either.
Right.
You can always see him
smoking on the mound, probably. Yeah, I don't think. Oh well, complete games here. Yeah, Ed Walsh for Chicago has 6. Ed Kelly. These are all guys from the 10s, 20s, 30s. Ed Kelly and Dick Rudolph, 5.55. Like there's
horses.
Just looking at the guys leading in ERA, which would make sense because obviously they're pitching well. But every one of them has at least 1 complete game so far. That's right?
Amazing.
They're probably all laughing at Carl Hubble because he only has 1. Right? They're like, "What's wrong, Carl?" But it's a good look at the overall league leaders here and the guys who are really getting it done.
Houston Street, man, slinging from the back of the bullpen there.
I like he's got 8 saves. They have 13 wins, right? So it's like that old Steve Carlton thing where he won. I forget how many. He won like 26 games or 27 games on a team that won 51 one year. It was just ridiculous how bad the Phillies were, and he still managed to snake like 27 wins out of it. So, but that's where we're at. We're far enough into it that it's feeling like the season has taken shape, and there was a lot of divisional play this week. I think every game was divisional play, so that'll help shape the races in the divisions, and some of them are competitive and some aren't. Going from least competitive to most, the Giants lead the Dodgers by 9 games out west, and the Dodgers are usually a pretty good club in the seasons that we simmed ahead of time just to work the kinks out. In the American League South, the Birmingham Knights are up on Tampa by 6. We're going to see the Tigers tonight. They lead Chicago by 5.5 in the AL North. In the NL South, Houston, who is the class of the expansion teams, has a 3-game lead on Atlanta. In the East, the Red Sox lead the Yankees by 2.5. Remember, the Yankees and the White Sox have that 1 extra game that I simmed on accident, which was a White Sox win. It's in early April, so we'll get caught up to it soon enough. And then in the East, the Phillies have stormed to the East lead. They lead the Mets by 2 games. In the NL North, the resurgent Cardinals, lead the Pirates by 2. And then our most competitive division, last week, all 4 teams were tied for the league lead or division lead, the AL West, where the Angels and A's are tied for the lead. Minnesota and Seattle are only 2 games back. So it looks like that West is going to be a real dogfight all season long.
I like it.
So that takes us to tonight. Let me get the scheduled league game up here. We'll get a look at Comerica Park. I haven't been to that many ballparks, but I was at Comerica actually for an all-star game in the mid-2000s. And man, just the statues and walking in with a giant snarling tiger, almost gargoyles above you. It's a cool stadium. And I had one of my very first games, might have been my first major league game, was in the old Tiger Stadium, sitting behind a pole in the upper deck in right field. So it looked like the sim does, kind of. The pitch would come in and then just ricochet out. Like I couldn't even see the batter at all. But as Bend Oregonians, the opportunity to go to a major league game was kind of limited. So
beats Vince Scanna.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a post this week about Kurt Russell playing minor league ball in Bend, which I knew was true.
Yeah.
But I guess it was just 1 year in like 73. So we weren't at any of his games. All right, so we'll get moving here. I'm not sure why the scoreboard defaults to 2019. And that's how I misplayed that Yankee game, was getting lost here. So here we are, March 2021, and here's today. So this is today's scoreboard, and we posted all these results earlier today, but we're actually playing the first game off tomorrow's schedule. Cleveland at Detroit. Oh yeah, and something I was playing with a little bit. I want to make this as good as it can be for you guys to see, because I know it's a little smaller on that screen than it is on mine. So I tried monkeying with the size of the players' names. So hopefully it gives you a little better look on the display when we push this up. So we'll run Detroit. The computer will run Cleveland. And it's Mike Clevinger, who I don't know if anybody's poor guy, right? Well, he had the COVID stuff last year, and so they ran him out of Cleveland. Indians fans don't care about him anymore. And then he got hurt right away in San Diego. So I guess he's got fans on Eternal Baseball. So, but not tonight, because we're all Tiger fans here. So let's see. Versus righties.
I want a 2 1/3 line from him today. That's right. What I want.
We're going to completely take him out. And I think pitching for us, it's Bill Donovan, who's the number 2 starter for Detroit. So I hope Bill does well for us. And the one thing I remember looking at, again, this is looking at what they're doing in Eternal Baseball versus their stats. That's what the RP stands for. So this is their Eternal Baseball OPS for the season so far. And Bill Freehan is, off the charts good. So we're going to give Mickey Tettleton the night off.
I was really hoping we could get Sweet Lou. We could sneak him in the lineup, but he's just too far down.
He's an amazing player. He hasn't had the chance to play. That's in 4 at bats. So.
Yeah. It looks like Gehringer's killing him.
Gehringer's hitting so well. I don't know that you can qualify that. But Cobb is a little slow, not up to his normal level of dominance. So I don't know that you have to lead him off. You could move Heilman up for Cobb, and we got to get Freehan higher. And Trammell has been ridiculous. So if you mix it up a little bit, you could get Gehringer second, maybe Freehan third. Oh, and Greenberg has been really, really slow. So maybe it's Trammell and then Freehan.
It's a pretty good lineup.
Hard to move Miguel Cabrera down, but Norm Cash has hit pretty well. Maybe we'll come up here. That'll drop Cobb down. Keeline Greenberg. Maybe Cobb over Greenberg. All right. So we've got it pretty well mixed up, other than this trio of righties right there. But I'm not going to argue with Trammell, Freehan, Miguel Cabrera. I'm pretty happy with that. I guess you could move Cash up for Cabrera, mix that up a little bit, and there we go. So it's yet another winning formula crafted.
Wait, so we have Greenberg in the 9-hole?
Yeah, because look how poor he is so far this year. 589 OPS. He's just struggling like crazy.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was looking at 1,064, and I was like,
yeah. And Sam Crawford, who was really one of baseball's very first true power hitters, because he played before Ruth. He's got this great, so far he's got a 2,300 OPS, but that's in, how many at bats? 3. So there's a little smoke and mirrors with Sam Crawford, who's a fine player and a Hall of Famer. But I think that gets us set.
I like our chances tonight. I'm feeling this.
It's our best chance so far.
The horn would getting the horn would be fun, but
Part where Cleveland will take
We can
on
do it.
Detroit. Detroit has won 8 of their last 10. Mike Clevinger will start for Cleveland. He's made 1 start on the year, with no decisions and an earned
Doesn't
run
sound
average
that
of
loud, but
1.93.
is that loud
First
at all?
start against Detroit.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Was
All
by
right.
Bill Donovan for Detroit. He's made 6 starts on the year and is 4-2 with an earned run average of 2.89. His first start against Cleveland. It's 45 degrees, wind speed 19 miles
Beautiful
per
day.
hour, in from right field,
Right?
and we have lightning. Pitching for Detroit.
So it's raining. We had a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming in. It's 45 degrees, and we've got
Franco.
the number 2 starters for both squads going. So it should just be runs like you wouldn't believe today.
There we go.
All right, so going around the diamond, got Al Kaline in left, Ty Cobb in center, the always pleasant Ty Cobb, Harry Heilman in right, Hank Greenberg, who's a phenomenal player, just having a tough year. You can see the difference here when it shows real. That's his peak, numbers that we've pulled versus how he's hitting so far this year. So tough start for Hank.
Wow.
Charlie Gehringer getting it done. Alan Trammell's had a fantastic start to the year. He's been our player of the day a couple times. Miguel Cabrera, he did play some third for Detroit, but not much, hence the 3 rating over there. So, but he's off to a bit of a slow start. We'll see where it goes. And then Freehand's been just outstanding. But Freehand's been playing mainly against lefties, and he murders lefties. So, sometimes you see a guy with a ridiculous line and go, well, he should play more. Well, sometimes it's because he's not playing more, right? He's only playing against lefties who he murders and such. Bill Donovan looks happy to be here.
Seems like an agreeable guy. Although I said that last time about Will Clark, and
right.
Turned out that apparently, the internet says that may not be true.
Right. I've heard some things. And we have another former Ben Philly, Julio Franco.
Yes.
Leading off for.
Hard to root against Julio Franco. That
probably
stance
had to be the best player to come through Bend, I would think, by a million miles, right?
Well, I mean, didn't Tim Salmon come through? I think Franco probably was the best, but there were some good players.
Salmon.
Yeah. DiSarcina had a decent couple of years.
Yeah, Salmon was a Bend Buck, I think, right? That team changed names so many times.
I think you're right.
All right, so here we go. Julio Franco, Bill Donovan. Let's win one. I assume this is better with the names big. I can make them even bigger if we want.
That seems perfect.
All right, we'll roll here. So one of my favorite stories about Tris Speaker, I'm not sure when he was in Cleveland, started as a Red Sox, and he covered a ton of ground in center field. And one of their pickoff plays was he played so shallow. He loved to play shallow that they had a pickoff play at second base where he would just bust in from center field. And they would try to smoke a runner not paying attention with a pickoff throw to the center fielder.
That is awesome.
That's ridiculous. So good for you, Tris, who got out of Boston and made it big.
You're making it hard to root against this team, though, man.
Right?
We're on our way to the Platinum Sombrero here.
Right? I got family in Ohio who like the Indians, but
doomed.
not
we're
tonight.
Doomed. We're doomed.
Yeah, here's Nap LaJoy, who's been killing it. Tris Speaker got a little in love with his own wheels there.
Wow.
And here's Pronk, half prospect, half donkey. And that's legitimately what his nickname was.
Uh-oh.
Ty Cobb getting it done.
Pitching for Cleveland, number 52, Mike Clevinger.
Looks like Albert Bell is on the bench today. I bet he's happy about that. I bet that didn't bother him at all. He's like, come on, we're playing the eternal baseball, guys.
Good lineup they have, though. Holy cow.
There's a lot of talent
baseman, Charlie
out there.
Gehringer.
Charlie Gehringer.
All right, let's get dangerous.
Well, he can't steal. And Trammell's a good bunter, but we're not bunting with one out, right? Swing away. Oh.
All right, we've got let me see if I can pull this comment up. Kind word from UW Badger fan.
Look at that.
We appreciate it.
We may have to get the Brewers on next week just to,
or
if they're not if they're the home team, right? Because we don't want to punish it.
Not if it's going to be the horn game,
right? Don't want to punish it like that. Yeah, well.
First baseman, Jim.
Jim Thoam. That's as close as they get. I always liked Thoam. He seemed like a.
How could you not like him? Yeah.
Just seemed like a good guy. I mean, obviously, he was an amazing talent. It just seemed like a good guy to have on your team.
We better check with the internet first, but I'm pretty sure I agree with you.
I never heard a bad thing about Jim Thoam.
Doby.
And he's not stealing. Larry Doby's having a tough year, which is fine by me. Come on, Bill.
Third baseman, Al Rosen.
And Al Rosen's on fire. Nobody out. Well, it starts. Well, Thoam is so slow he didn't score on it. So we got a real opportunity here for the first triple play. We've or not. All right.
I don't know. Does Thoam tag there?
It looks like we got almost no chance to get him. But I almost always try to throw a guy out because the only thing bad that can happen is a runner might advance, or if it's a bad throw, you might get some hijigs on the base paths. But I always figure, why not?
Jim Thoam.
You can cut the throw though.
Ooh, that's
I like it.
Third.
Yeah, and maybe get out of a bad inning, right?
I like it. Do it.
All right, we'll cut that throw.
Catcher,
fine.
Number 41, Victor Martinez.
We're just, oh boy. Again, they're just conga line on the bases.
Julio.
We're back to the top of the lineup again.
Here's another good, apt comment.
Right? Yeah, it's been kind of that way so far. No, we need more outs than we need run prevention at this moment. So, oh wait a minute, I hit the wrong button.
Center fielder, try.
Well,
speaker.
Well, finally, something that's actually my fault. I was meaning to throw the first.
Here we go.
I'm going to try to pick off Julio to get that percentage down a little bit, and we could use the out, let's be honest. So we'll keep him close. Oh, it got better. One more time. Man, all right, fine. If it goes, it goes.
It should give you the option to do the fake pickoff. That's
right?
So annoying.
Throw, yeah, I'm going to throw.
Wow, man, these starts.
It's not that I didn't try, right? I tried to pick him off twice.
These starts are killing us,
right? Tris Speaker's mad about his base running gaff.
Second baseman.
Is it too early to get a guy up in the pen?
We're the kiss of death.
I mean, Detroit's 21-8 until we got our claws into them. Let's see who they've got who's not in there. You know what? Denny Mclean won 31 games one year, and he's in their pen.
This is too important not to get him up.
Yeah, we can't. Oh, wait, Mclean, actually, hang on. He started a couple days ago.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe it's not.
It's too important.
How about Dizzy Trout? Just on name basis alone.
This always gets us into trouble.
Dizzy Trout. Go for it, Dizzy.
All right.
Nice. Wish you could have doubled somebody off there, Charlie, but fine.
Hafner.
And here's the
Oh.
Single. I'm telling you.
First baseman.
Only a 5 spot in the second. No problem. That rotten guy, Jim Thoam's up again. Okay, good.
All right.
I soured on him in the course of an inning.
Freehan.
Let's get some runs, Tigers. There we go.
Designated hitter.
Freehand's hitting like 380 till we. Man, the innings, they just go so quickly.
Ours do, at least.
Right? Doesn't quite have the distance from McGraw.
Right fielder, Larry.
Hey, Larry Doby's back. So Dizzy Trout's ready if this one starts going sideways.
Okay.
But Donovan's had a really good season so far, so I would think that was just us and not him.
Al Rosen.
I mean, it's not exactly
Left fielder,
courage
Rocky
inspiring
Clevinger.
when the manager can't figure out his webcam. But stealing on us left and right. Got no respect for freehand. Probably should have started Tettleton.
Catcher, Victor Martinez.
All right, Vic.
All right.
Hey, a scoreless inning.
Holland.
All right, I'm going to sit Dizzy Trout down because their actual, like when we put him up, he had 70 pitches to throw before he got tired, and now he's down to 65. So I like the realism of that, right? You can't just leave a guy throwing in the pen.
I feel like we need to get a different image for Bill Frint or Bill Donovan after he dropped that 5 spot. We need backup images to
right
swap out
of him not looking happy.
Center fielder, Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb's a 10 bunter, something to keep in our pocket for later in case the game gets tight.
All right, let's do some magic here.
Hank.
Is that 84% or 64?
84. So you could absolutely steal or hit and run. Granted, Victor Martinez is well rated, 7 defensively, 7 arm, but I would
scuffling. So maybe we just straight steal here.
I would think 84 is. I would send a guy at 84. At the very least, he might hurt somebody with the flying spikes. So, all right, fine. We'll send Cobb. Yes! It's just a small taste of victory.
Things are looking up.
Scoring position for ice cold Hank Greenberg, who hits it to the left side.
Throwing there. We need to throw.
Right fielder, Harry.
All right, Harry. Bail us out. Oh, it's through.
Yes.
And we're on the board.
Second baseman.
We got a shot, man. We got a shot.
It's a great comeback story. Hey, that was our first hit. Savor it. Maybe our last hit. That's right. We got one back.
Julio.
Literally, we won the 3rd inning, 1-0.
That's what it's all about, man. Just need a couple consecutive wins.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So there you go. We're cutting into it. Julio Franco.
It's gonna be a philosophy broadcast before
right. We'll be talking Nietzsche by the 7th inning. Bill Donovan's at 68 pitches here in the 4th inning. That's fine. Charlie Garrett booting it at.
Man, I'm telling you, Sweet Lou would not have missed that ground ball.
I guarantee you, Sweet Lou's not happy about that in the dugout. So 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Nap LaJoy, who's a stone cold killer. Oh, come on, Ty.
Did he get it?
Designated hitter.
No, he dropped it. Sometimes they hang on like snow cone, but so here we are, bases loaded, nobody out. I'm probably late on this, but let's get a Dizzy warm up again because this has gone poorly. And not Donovan's fault though, right? 2 of those runners are on by error, but
well, let's blame him a little bit.
It could go sideways. I mean, not that it hasn't gone sideways, but we're not throwing home with a 7% chance. We might get a small chance of a double play here. Throw home. This is what I did wrong last time. No, we're not throwing home. I think we might have got 2.
First baseman, Jim.
I will take it.
Yep. 2 down. Love it. Jim Thoam.
Thoam.
Eat it, Jim Thoam.
Is it Thoam or Tome?
I think it's a Thoam. So, which is weird, and that's one of the only bits of the game that I haven't got ironed out yet. There's a bit where you can tell it, okay, here's how I want it pronounced. and you just type it in, Jim Thome, but pronounce it like Tomemay, Tomei, and it'll say it back to you, Jim Tomei. You're like, perfect. Save. And then the next time he comes up, Jim Thome. Like, what did we just talk about? Fine. Here comes the comeback. Oh.
Catcher, Bill Freehan.
Come on, Bill. Oh.
Designated hitter.
I mean, literally no one's rooting for Mike Clevinger. But okay, I got a great Norm Cash story, and actually my mom told me this. Cash was a power-hitting Tigers first baseman in the 60s. Big-time power, really good player. And in 1968, the Tigers rushed to the World Series. Interesting year where Denny Mclean for the Tigers wins 31, but Bob Gibson for the Cardinals has a 1.12 ERA for the year. Like, just maybe the least hittable season by a pitcher ever. He's ridiculous. Only wins 22. But both those pitchers win not just the Cy Young, but the MVPs for both the leagues. And they face off in game 1 of the World Series.
Wow.
So just, couldn't be a more marquee matchup. And Bob Gibson annihilates the Tigers. Gives up, I think he gave up, no, it was shutout. It was 4-0 win for the Cardinals. He gave up 5 hits and 1 walk and struck out 17. So it's a World Series record, 17 strikeouts. And Detroit knows they're going to face him at least twice more if it goes 7. So they're a completely demoralized clubhouse coming in with their 31-game winner, and they just got housed. I mean, imagine facing Bob Gibson when you've never seen him before, right? No free agency back then. All-star games maybe, but no interleague play. So they're just absolutely crestfallen. Norm Cash, I think, was hitting in the 3-hole, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, right? So they let reporters into the Detroit clubhouse after some time. And the first guy to greet him is Norm Cash, who was a funny guy. And he's holding his bat up like a lumberjack's axe over his head. And he says, "Hello, boys. You want to see the bat that set the record?" And postscript, I think Gibson won game 4, but they got him in game 7. They pushed it to 7 games, and they beat Gibson in game 7. And that's why the 68 Tigers are like, the Tigers haven't won a ton of titles, but that 84 team that could not be stopped and the 68 team that rallied against a pitching god are very, very close to the hearts of Tiger fans out there. So
that's amazing.
Long story long, Norm Cash. There you go. Look at that.
Yes. We're going to do it, man. I'm feeling it.
I just got to tell 2-minute stories before every Tiger at bat.
There you go.
I saw Miguel Cabrera one time, matinee in Yankee Stadium. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness. That's our first back-to-back. Right?
I'm telling an anecdote before every hitter. Even if Al Kaline, they named a battery after him. Not many people know that. So, look, I'm just going to roll with it. It doesn't have to be out. It just has to be down.
I'm out, dude. Just keep talking.
Just roll? Yeah. Ty Cobb,
maybe no Ty Cobb anecdote.
you want a kooky Ty Cobb story?
Let's just kill this ending.
Ty Cobb, a talented swimmer in the offseason. Not many people know that.
Quite the gentleman.
Yeah, right. Ty Cobb always starched his whites. That's not gonna get.
Oh, should have hit and run.
It's fine.
All right,
we're getting back in this.
I didn't get to you soon enough to gamble on that one.
I think Mr. Donovan might get through the bottom of the lineup here, but I think Mr. Trout is going to come in to face that top if we get there.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, if we get there. Doby with a leadoff triple.
Oh.
Third baseman, Rosen.
All right. I think I've had enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Donovan.
That smirk.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
get out of here.
We had a lot of faith in you today, Bill.
Thanks for nothing.
But it's Trout. Look at that.
Trout.
Just a picture of confidence.
It's gonna be hit by pitch, man. It always works this way.
Whack. Oh, pop up.
Oh.
It's gonna make seats. Yeah. You know what? It's a strike. I'll take it. Yeah. Not close.
Rocky Colavito.
7th spot on the board. That's all right. I can't believe we chose what seemed to be the most lopsided game
Martinez.
to favor the home team, and we're still looking at a 4-run deficit halfway through the game. But I'm not sure what happened there.
First baseman.
Oh well.
Hank Greenberg.
Fine, I'll take it. Hank.
There we go. He's
Snapping out of it. Wow, it must have got past Colavito.
Right fielder Harry.
Wow.
All right.
So I mean, if they're running, it's pretty much guaranteed, right? If they aren't giving us the percentage.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about my heart.
It's not too much white knuckle. If they're going, they're pretty much. If they aren't asking you, should he take that base, they're pretty much always in there.
Dude, we're only down 3 after we knocked Hammer and Hank in.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, it could be a big inning.
Oh, double steal.
Right, with 2 guys who can't run. You know what? One of them's going to be safe. Maybe. That doesn't help anything, Charlie.
Not going to get that one past Knapp.
Nope. Come on. Oh, okay. Send Greenberg home. Safe chance 89%. I think that's obviously a yes. They're trying to turn 2 and
get their travel.
Did.
Shortstop.
Yeah, we get nothing. Lead off triple. We didn't get him in.
We cannot catch a break.
Just saying. Hello, Julio. You got to believe Franco's still playing in a league somewhere, right?
His bat speed for where his hand started. I'm still continually amazed by that.
It's amazing nobody could have just convinced him. You know how much better it'll be if you don't start with your hands around your left ear?
He could have played until he was probably 60 if he had his hands in a normal.
But honestly, what hitting coach is going to mess with Julio Franco?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, you know what? We're good.
Legend.
I'm fine. I always had a soft spot for Tris Speaker as a Yankee fan because he was like one of the very first stars who got out of Boston. Now, they traded him. You didn't have any control of where you went back then, but Speaker got out and had a really good Hall of Fame career in Cleveland. Oh, we'll get there.
Catcher, Bill Freehan.
Come on, Bill.
Here we go. How's Clevinger still in there? This is ridiculous.
Right? Apparently no COVID left over in Clevinger's system. His arm healed up just fine.
All right, wait. Do you have another cash anecdote?
I can make one up.
There you go. Let's do it.
Right? His middle name is actually Penny, which
loves gardening.
Right? Norm Penny Cash. So,
they didn't buy it.
It's over.
I didn't buy it.
Miggy Cabrera, come on now.
Designated hitter,
line out.
Travis Hafner.
The thrill is gone, unfortunately.
First base.
Well, at least we know the blueprints for next game, so we don't get the horn. We just have like 87 anecdotes throughout the course of the game.
Larry.
Oh, man.
Larry Doby. There's no reason to pitch around or put him on. Rosen's just as good, if not better, right behind him. Come on, Harry. Couldn't have laid out into the stands in the 7-3 game with a 6-game lead in your division.
We need this, Harry.
Right? This is a big game, Harry. It's the first game on the Monday schedule. It's the Catalina wine mixer. Pass ball. Thoam-azing. 8-3.
I was watching a tourney game last night. It was Abilene Christian against University of Texas.
Right?
And did you see that one?
I just read about it.
It's super close. but they kept showing the coach's wife for Abilene Christian, just racked with nerves, and I mean you could just tell, like, I mean, their entire chance of moving out of Abilene,
Right.
to get to that next tier, like
Right.
Tulsa or
I mean, Texas wouldn't even play Abilene Christian in the preseason. I mean, like as a non-conference game, that's never happening.
But as a coach and the coach's wife, like, this is your chance, right? This is how you get your name out there. Boom, you're up that next step. Then you could just see, like, the moment they won, just her on their phone with her realtor.
Right. Didn't somebody who beat Ohio State? I missed. I didn't do my.
Oh, it was the other. It was Oral Roberts, right?
Right? Yeah. Now we're talking. And some team faked illness to stay away from Oregon, I read.
I feel bad for. Can you imagine making the tourney and then what disappointment?
They were hanging out with Mike Clevinger, is what I heard.
I just love the fact that Oregon only needs, 5 more COVID cases, and we're the national champions again for the first time since like 38 or something. I forget what.
There you go. Yeah, as an Arizona State grad, I've only heard stories about the tournament. I hear it's a great time, but apparently you got to know somebody to get invited. So fine. Dizzy Trout hasn't been half bad.
Should have started him.
Left fielder.
He's the second best Trout in eternal baseball, but that's fine. Oh man, 7th inning. That came quick, or maybe not.
Yeah, we're not even close on these games. It's so frustrating.
We had a couple where we were close enough to screw up the bullpen, but
maybe we just need to start bunting more right off the bat.
Yeah, go with an opener, maybe. Change it up.
A 4th outfielder.
Right. Run the shift.
We'll hire some guy to code the game.
Right.
10 players on the field.
Monkey with the stats before we go. Come on, Ty Cobb. Get mad. No.
Come on, USOB.
First
right.
baseman, Hank.
You know what?
Greenberg.
Hank Greenberg's having a terrible year, and we're down 5. So, Sam Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
You're hot.
All right. Who are you going to put in at first, though?
Castellanos. Or Tettleton.
I guess you can move Miggy over first.
Yeah, Miggy can go, and we'll put somebody at third.
Yeah.
Castellanos coming at third.
All right.
We just need a hit, man.
Something.
Detroit.
Just
Sam Crawford.
Come on, Sam. Oh, it looks golden.
did it get?
Left fielder, Rocky Colavito.
All right, so now we got to pay for our creativity. So, yeah, Cabrera, you're our first baseman. Castellanos, you're our third baseman. And believe me, you're not sacrificing much defense at third when you take out Cabrera and put in Castellanos.
Is he really only a 3?
Yeah, that's why he ended up playing left, right?
Okay.
And barely playing left, but so, well, we're saving our bullpen today
Catcher, Victor.
because they do have important games that we won't have our dirty little fingers around.
Dude, we're going for the horn next week. Can you believe it?
So bad.
Shortstop.
Maybe we could give Sam Horn a call, and maybe if he's actually on the broadcast with us,
Right? We got to do
That-
something because this is getting tough.
Center
Like, I
fielder,
don't mind losing,
Price,
truly,
Speaker.
but I would like it to be competitive. I'd like it to be a good game. When there's only one game of the week
yeah.
and it's not competitive, that's a little rough for viewership. Hey, Tris Speaker's happy to be here.
Well,
10-3.
Nap.
hmm.
Detroit.
Well, at least we've kept Knapp off the. Well, let's see.
We're just happy to be
Pitching
here.
for Cleveland, Sam McDowell.
Sam McDowell,
Right
Here we
fielder,
go.
Harry Heilman.
top of the lineup. Not gonna monkey with it.
Second baseman,
Charlie Gehringer,
Gehringer.
whose inning extending error earlier did us no favors. Oh, good, a web gem for Tris
Shortstop,
Speaker.
Alan Trammell.
He's a beast. Look at him, 9 defensively, 9 arm.
Look at that way he's wearing his cap.
Right,
That's not a guy that messes around in center.
The roguish tilt of his lid. I guarantee if they'd had gold
Yeah,
stickers back then, he would have had a gold sticker on
I was gonna
the.
say, you can see him with that hat, him just propositioning ladies in center in the pictures.
No, he played shallow, right? So
Oh,
he
that's
was,
right.
or maybe he
And
played shallow and he was just yelling at him.
just
Hey,
jogging over to third baseline.
you in the blouse?
Yeah,
What's up?
you in the blouse.
I played the Titan Tens. I mean,
Catcher. Recon.
hey, lady, nice hat. I mean, oh, we got ducks on the pond.
We're gonna start attracting like the pickup artist. Like
All of a sudden, we've painted Hall of Famer Tris Speaker as a womanizer. And all he did was, knock in a couple runs off us. Like, that's rare.
I was like, I don't know, man. So we got 150,000 views. They're all the 18 to 25 male demographic, man. It's a gold mine.
All of a sudden, I'm going to get backlash from Tris Speaker's descendants. Our grandpa was not.
He wasn't good. He got married at 16.
Designated hitter. Travis. Hafner.
Trout appears fine. Yeah, not bad. Whatever.
Does he?
Right?
First baseman. Jim. Thoam.
Jim Thoam.
Jim Thoam has been raking. Look at.
He's been Thoam-azing.
There you go. That's the title of our podcast.
So bad. So bad. Bad baseball and worse puns. Join us every Sunday night.
You there in the blouse. I'm so amazing.
First baseman. Miguel.
All right, big inning.
Right, here we go. The merciful conclusion.
Left fielder. Al. Collins.
Come on, Al.
Center
All right.
fielder.
I didn't even get my K-line story out. Next time. And Tiger fans are like, for God's sake, only if we're the visiting team. Ty Cobb. Oh, yeah.
All right. I mean, this is Sweet Lou Whitaker time. I don't know.
Castellanos.
Oh, yeah, totally. Castellanos.
You know what?
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
I took a lot of flack from Tiger fans to have Castellanos on the team and not Kirk Gibson, because Gibson's on there inactive. And the only reason Castellanos is here is he can kind of play third, but he absolutely savages left-handed pitching. And old Sam McNeil, ain't nothing wrong with him except he's a lefty. So, for my own honor.
All right. He better get a hit. So
Look
we
at
can
that.
See?
See?
All right.
He kills lefties.
Right fielder.
All right. How about
Heilman.
I guess Heilman's pretty good. All
He
right.
can't be pinch hitting for 322 Harry Heilman. Especially when the rally is on.
Dude, we're pulling this out.
Charlie.
10-4, good buddy. All right. Gehringer 0 for 3, but 336. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put Sweet Lou in there if you want.
No, it's a lefty.
It's a straight swap, second base. All right.
No.
Look at
Look
this.
at that.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
We can't lose on that one.
Right? Larry Doby, what a jerk.
Yeah, come on, man.
Trying to throw Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer out at first base from right field.
That is Bush League. Come on.
Right? If that doesn't get you fired up.
Dude, if we hit a 3-run homer right here, and I'm not saying we're going to, but we're about to get up.
No.
Oh, come on.
Alan Trammell, just not quite enough thunder in the stick tonight.
I don't know what you did to the software program, Mark. Like,
Final score from
but
I wish I knew. Same thing I did to my webcam, apparently.
Clevinger is the winner.
So,
1-0. Bill
he
Donovan
only threw
gets the loss.
95 pitches.
He is now 4-3 on the
Ridiculous.
season.
like a speaker, man.
Speaker
just-
home run number 5 on the season.
Let's see.
Miguel Cabrera
Yeah.
is number 4.
He's a
Norm
beast.
Cash hit
I have to find a new picture of Larry
Time on the
Doby.
game,
That looks like a
3
painting.
hours. 28 minutes.
Norm Cash, too, deserves
So
a
Clevinger had 1+.
Yeah, so he was throwing a little better than his average. And Donovan and Trout were just exactly how they should have been. But that's a rough day for Bill Donovan, who came in at like 2.49 and leaves at 3.63. But you know what? Trout didn't pitch badly. only 2 earned in 5 innings against a pretty stacked Cleveland lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So who are we going to sink next week? I guess we got to figure it out.
Right? I'll try to pick another really favored home team so we can prove our magic powers are intact.
Going for the horn.
0 for 5. There isn't an 0 for 7, I don't think, right? Nobody would have stayed in with 6 Ks. It would have had to have been an extra inning game, right? Where the guy was brutal. So, of course, you're going to pinch hit for him in the 13th, right? 0 for 6 with 6 Ks.
Yeah, well, baseball's got a long tradition. There may have been someone along that. I'll look it up. I'll do some research. I know Sam Horn was, here's, we got another comment here. Ready?
Yeah. Realistically, we're going to have to mix something in to up the entertainment because it hasn't come from the baseball.
Yeah, I could just do it topless next week, maybe.
Right? I could have done a topless this week and no one would know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We can try to get that 55 through 75-year-old woman demographic.
Hey, you in the blouse.
You in the blouse. There you go.
All right. Well, it wraps up another week and another loss on Eternal Baseball. As always, you can find us at eternalbaseball.com. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. We will be back with yet another thrilling episode next Sunday night. We'll try to find another home team that we can sink.
And not just sink. We're talking about multiple torpedoes.
We're really the
albatross. We're not barely bailing water here.
We should. You know what? The Giants. We've already had them once, but they're so far out in the West. Maybe we can help tighten that race up a little bit.
There you go.
Put a little voodoo magic on them. So we'll see. We'll see where we're at for next week. But yeah, check us out at eternalbaseball.com. Take a look at the rosters. If your team is struggling or if they're rolling and still can be even better, check out the box scores, see what we can do to jazz up your lineup or your rotation. We want every team to be as competitive as possible. And usually that means just staying away from us because we have the black thumb of Eternal Baseball Gardening. So anyway, we appreciate you joining us. Tell your friends. I'll get the webcam straightened out. And we will see you next Sunday for another thrilling edition of the Eternal Baseball Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.